This is King Chez's weekend, his senior year, his last NCAA Indoor Championships, and he can do it all from the mile to the 5,000. He didn't run the DMR this year, but he's done it before. And Larry, there's almost no superlatives you can use that will oversell this man.
Very true. Absolutely true. He can do it all. He can run from behind. He can run from the front. And when boxed in, the antenna goes up, the radar is in effect, and he looks left, looks right, and calculates, when should I make my move? That's the most dangerous time when you're trying to get clear of everybody. But he has been the consummate professional runner, so to speak, since he arrived on campus 4 years ago. Out of trouble and into control. Watch him here. Christian Serratos, a couple of years ago in the mile run, pushed everybody dramatically, and he waited and bided his time, didn't take the baits that Serratos offered, and wound up winning the mile. Look at his great performances that he had at Boston University at the last chance meet, breaking the national collegiate record, running 3 minutes 52.01 seconds indoors for the mile. He's fit, he's ready. You know, I chatted with Andy Powell, his distance coach at Oregon, and he said, you know, I've been blessed to have many, many talented runners here at Oregon to coach. He said, but this guy is special, and we've seen it over the years. So let's see what he can do as he goes in his quest, his final senior year for another title.
You can see Cheserek mixing it up a little bit. He's got a teammate in there in Matthew Mangton with the long hair and the headband. Oregon going for the team title as usual, but Chez, who now has 16 overall NCAA titles, 14 individual titles, so he's still one short of the all-time record held by Suleiman Niambui of UTEP and Tanzania from back in the 80s, but he's got plenty of opportunities. 2 races today, as well as the NCAA Outdoor Championships in Eugene in June.
From watching him in the past, Dwight, Chez is very careful when he gets inside and gets boxed, as we showed him earlier. Notice how he just got a little concerned. He actually moved his hand out once to make sure he didn't get clipped on anybody. 62.6 seconds for the first 400 meters. This is not going to take any starch out of his great kick that he often has.
Well, as we've been saying, the Oregon senior Edward Cheserek and his coaches were looking to display his speed, which they did a nice job at it in a meet in Boston, where he ran a lightning fast qualifying time, which ended up being a collegiate record of 3:52.01.
We kind of like decided like we want to run fast towards the end of my senior year, and we sat down with the coach. And we talk about it, like, you know, can we just find a couple races we can get to run faster? And we find the race in Boston, and we're like, okay, let's do it. And we went down there. And I was training for 5 and 10, but just trained for shorter stuff. And when we get there, I was prepared and ready to go.
Dwight, a guy that is interesting to watch here is Joshua Thompson, for the senior from Oklahoma State. He's got very, very good speed. He's up there on the edge, acting as a bit of a block for Chez to have to swing wide. I wonder if he feels he might have the speed to try and match on the last lap. We'll see, but this is very slow. Look at 4 guys abreast. You don't see this very often.
Well, I think I saw 2:11 for 800 meters. So if they think that he doesn't have the finishing speed to take this thing, I've certainly been watching him very closely for the last 4 years. I believe he has the finishing speed to take this thing, and he has the endurance to run it from this far out if that's what he wants to do.
Now, what he just did, we talked about him having good radar and good instinct. He fell back to about 8th place, swung wide into outside of lane 3, down the home stretch to get clear of everybody, grab control, and he's got it now. I don't think you'll see him relinquish it.
Josh Thompson for Oklahoma State with the black knee socks is there as he does relinquish the lead, but maybe by design. That's Josh Kerr, the New Mexico freshman, and that just may be a freshman move. And Cheserek may just want to hitch his wagon to that horse.
3:09 plus through the 3/4 of a mile.
So Josh Kerr of New Mexico changes Edward Cheserek's race plan. He takes a quick look back and says, okay, it's just you and me, kid. I've been here before a few times. There's the bell. And it's the young freshman. And from Great Britain as well as New Mexico. And Cheserek is not that easily hanging on to him.
Wow, look at this. Ches has distance to make up for real with 100 meters to go.
It ain't gonna happen. The freshman from New Mexico takes the last look back and says, I just broke King Ches in the mile. No one could have predicted that, except maybe Josh Kerr.
Somewhere around 54 seconds flat for the last 440 yards of that race did Kerr, who had said ahead of time, and Lara was speaking with someone who said, I'm going to try and do something, he said, with about 3 laps to go. Well, he waited till a little less than 3 laps to go, and then powered away. What confidence to be able to go 54 seconds. He ran 3 minutes 44 seconds for his 1,500 meter time before he arrived at New Mexico in Scotland, where he's from, in Edinburgh, and has developed, obviously, even faster with a great kick.
Well, that's the shock. In fact, this entire arena is shocked. Josh Kerr, the New Mexico freshman from Scotland, wins it over King Ches. And what else can you say? John Anderson.
Yeah, I've said to Josh already, I didn't expect to be visiting with him here. Explain how you ended up standing next to me.
You know, I stuck to my race plan. I talked it over with coach beforehand, and it's a pretty quality field, so I had to be smart about my moves, but I felt strong coming in, so I had to stick to my race plan and run my own race.
So tell me the race plan as you laid it out.
You know, I was going to try and go with 5:50 to go, but there was a lot of shoving and pushing. And you know what? I went with it, still ran my own race, try to make sure that I was staying to as much of my race plan as possible. I went with about 400 to go and couldn't look back because these guys are fast, so yeah, I'm happy.
Quickly, obviously, everybody expected Edward Cheserek. What's it like to get in a race with him and know that he's that guy?
Yeah, well, he's a class act. There's no two ways about it, but, you know, maybe I caught him a bit tired after that 5K, but, you know, I had to run my own race. He was just one of my competitors today, but a hell of an athlete, so you can't disrespect him in any way, but I just tried to run my own race, and I was able to beat him today.
Congratulations. 2 miles, 2 surprise winners. Josh Kerr on the men's side.